and welcome to all of you. I know some of you have heard this before, but for those who are not familiar with this, we will get started now with an introduction to the investment thesis of Bitcoin. We will introduce the Right Arms Project community leaders, specifically Dr. Jeffrey. We will talk about the MinerX technology, and then we will wrap up with the numbers and the financials. So, my name's Trev. I'm Business Development Director. Today we'll be discussing this brief slide presentation for about 5-10 minutes about MinerX, which is a Bitcoin mining project, Bitcoin mining boosters. It's a great combination of technology. So just going to start off by saying here that Bitcoin is digital gold. It's the only global currency not controlled by any state or government. It's legally recognized by 119 countries. It's the only asset class that seems to be has a counter relationship versus a co-relationship, an inverse relationship. So it fights markets trends. And as you can see here, it is an asset class that is being traded by 100 million people just on Binance every month. So it's continuing to grow. And as you guys can see from this slide, all the institutional money is now entering this economic cycle, this 4-year cycle. Thousands of companies are using it to receive as payments. And then you can see all of the politicians and celebrities are fully behind it. So it's here to stay, and it's only going to get bigger. Now, this is a slide that came to be quite important. As you guys can see here, all-time highs. So it's a 4-year cycle down to the very month, from November of 13 to December of 17 to December of 21, and then potentially December of 25 next year. So you guys can see every 4-year cycle, there's a new floor. So these are all sort of economic tailwinds to show that the investment thesis right now is another strong signal that now is the time to be into Bitcoin while the prices are still suppressed. And then here it just shows that Bitcoin's already more powerful across the globe than silver as an asset class, more valuable. It's going to eventually take out Microsoft, Apple, and NVIDIA for number 2 slot, and then it will only have to beat gold itself at number 1. So Bitcoin will basically have to go above 200K or somewhere between 200 and 300K, and then it will knock out gold to be the number 1 asset class on planet Earth, which is not bad, being a technology that was only born back in 2008, 2009. And so now, with that out of the way, the investment thesis to lay the foundation, now we are going to talk about Dr. Jeffrey and the Right Arms Project. So as you guys can see here, founded in 2018. It was originally focused on gaming and all the things related to NFTs and GameFi. It's, of course, it expanded to DEXs, specifically Uniswap, all of that great technology. So it's Web3 focused. It is a DAO, which we will make clear on the last slide of the presentation about all the sales leaders and team leaders. And it's just continuing to focus on the best upcoming projects or best current projects, which we will detail in just a second on a follow-up slide of the roadmap thus far. About me, I've been in Asia for about 12 years now. I've been in blockchain since 2017. I've worked with many blockchain projects, most recently with a lot of casino stuff and gaming and tokenized gambling sort of things, NFT stuff as well. But then on the venture capital side, with former employers during the pandemic, I was working with some traditional fundraisers for Series A, and then some private equity stuff and equity fundraisers. But as you can see on the bottom of the slide, the last year and a half has been quite crazy with the parent company, Assembly of Gods, being conceptualized only in 2022, and then everything really getting going last year, 2023. So specifically China, of course, Vietnam, some other markets, to activate investors and get them on board with the vision of building out an ecosystem, leading up to what we're going to talk about right now with MinerX. And this gentleman, some of you folks may know, has a very strong reputation in this region. And then he's been in network marketing for almost 20 years. And he's been a recent addition to the the Right Arms community. These last few, since really last month, and when MinerX got started, so we're very happy to have welcomed some of his folks, his community, I mean. And then now, most importantly for the introduction here, would be Dr. Jeffrey himself. As George noted, this is Dr. Jeffrey's Zoom. We'll continue to host these calls twice a day. That might be scaling up into other languages as well. But you can see studied in the United States at Harvard, received a PhD in finance technology, has been working in network marketing for more than 10 years now, has worked with listed companies and taken companies to a 2000x, as was the case with AIQ Limited as a shareholder and director. As we will show you in just a second, back in 2018 with project number 1, Uniswap was really the beginning of Right Arms. And it's a project that continues to pay out to Right Arms today for many people that got engaged back then. So that's a very good case study and example of being able to earn passive income over time by uniting yourself and getting on board with projects very early that are going to be super successful. So community masternode holder, as well as let's see here. Yeah, 7 million community members are over the years across many countries. A very large NFT collector here in Asia for Bored Ape Yacht Club, among others. Has consulted the immediate past Prime Minister Scott Morrison in Canberra, Australia. It continues to liaison with Scott Morrison and other members of Parliament today regarding blockchain. And then most importantly for Dr. Jeffrey, which he likes to stress for everybody, is that he has personally helped bring 100,000 plus folks from around the world to achieve $1 million lifestyle status. So hopefully you guys can understand that this is the Dr. Jeffrey's goal for many people if they want to join the Right Arms community. So this gentleman has been helping out for many years now. Is very busy now these days in China and other countries, but hopefully you guys will be able to work with him very closely, ideally. Then this gentleman is taking over Vietnam this calendar year as the data center opens, and has been dealing with Dr. Jeffrey for nearly 20 years in a professional and personal relationship. So they have a lot of overlap across some projects over the years. And very thankful for him for taking the lead in Vietnam. And then as you see here now, what has happened really since 2018, as you see at the top, way up top with Uniswap, and then Compound, Polygon, Matic, Axie Infinity during 2020, 2021. That was very big for me. I was following it very closely because it was really such an anomaly, but it ended up being super huge. Specifically in Philippines and Vietnam. And then you can see most recently 2024 and 2022 with AOG. These are the projects ideally, if people join today, for the team leaders that joined today, these are ideally the projects that will begin to start paying out. And 2 years down the road, people can look back and say that these were the projects that started some more passive income, certainly hopefully with MinerX. So that hopefully provides you guys with a strong understanding of the track record and trying to build out country leads, team leaders, all those sorts of things under the umbrella of Right Arms Project. Okay, so now as we focus on the business model, we are now zooming in on MinerX. And as you guys can see here, hopefully you guys can see that the last few years has been really quite a wonderful adventure of getting initial injection of capital and then scaling it and introducing referral marketing and those sorts of other monetizing elements to including NFTs and other fundraising mechanisms, gamification, et cetera, on the app. The app at one point had many games, that the people could be playing at all times at initial launch. So now, as of just about 6 weeks ago, I guess, about 6 weeks ago, became official the MinerX partnership, which was an official signing ceremony, launch ceremony here in Phuket, Thailand. 10 million capital injection carve off to go right to MinerX. So it's going to continue to reinvest in MinerX. So now with that all secured, specifically intellectual property, exclusivity, all of the other wonderful things that come with having that IP and distribution rights, On the right side of your screen, you can see that data center number 1 for MinerX. There's 3,000 MinerX devices that are hosted on the 3rd floor of this building. This is called BTC1. There's a building called BTC2 in the back, which is a much bigger building where they host events and similar. 2 acres of land. It's a $20 million investment. It's a Thai government piece of land. There is a real estate component to it. They're building a hotel also on the side called Bitcoin Hotel. So there is a landlord that is, a real estate focused to try to monetize and work with blockchain as an investment thesis that the Thai government is fully behind, doing central bank digital currencies and doing airdrops to every citizen that has a national ID card. So the interests are aligned, and we're very, 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 very honored and privileged to be able to work there every day and drink coffee there every day, as you see on the ground. Oh, the ground photo. The ground photo of that was interesting. Okay, so moving on. Now, this is the business model, and it's hopefully very clear here from what you see here is that there's going to be the mining accelerator, which is of course us, MinerX, the accelerator, which is a combination of not just hardware but more importantly the software, which is running through software provider. They're actually based out of Europe, so it's not just the hardware. And also need to make it clear somewhere in this presentation, because it's always the questions always comes up is are these USB devices for retail sale that people can plug in at home? Of course, the answer is no. And these are not plugged in directly to the mining rigs wherever they are. They are boosted remotely via data centers. But we need the mining farms to be on board, so that's the key to have negotiated and get the confirmation of the mining farms. In our case, it's one facility in Dallas, Texas, United States, and the other one in Laos. And there will be site visits in the month of November to both Dallas, Texas, and Laos for Right Arms Project team leaders and community leaders. Specifically, a lot of the people in the last few weeks have already hit their sales targets, so they've won free tickets to go over there to Texas and enjoy a wonderful site visit over there. And so, let's see here. Just checking. Okay, so competitive edge is, of course, boosting global mining farms while reducing costs, increasing productivity. So we'll get right now in these few slides about the tech, about how the tech works, and then the business model again is the profit sharing. So the miners get some of that profit. The people that are boosting, that are paying for the contracts, are getting some profit. So splitting those dividends, and ideally everyone here on this call as a participant in the project is a member of the Right Arms community, and then they will be able to even have more larger dividends paid out to them if they have built a large sales team. So that's the logic here. So some of the people on this call are already sort of signed up, so they can attest to the fact that once you receive your referral code and your email confirmation, you will then have the ability to onboard and purchase your first device. You can rent many devices at the same time, and then you can see that once you've logged in, you'll be able to see where your device is boosting, whether it's Texas or somewhere else. And then, of course, most importantly, on the right side of your screen, when you're looking at Bitcoin, you can see the transactions. You can trace it on the blockchain, and you can also collect your Bitcoin or swap your Bitcoin. So I've got some answers to some of Aaron's questions we can discuss in the Q&A after the finishing of these slides. So now, and then, of course, most importantly also for this slide is that once you have enough Bitcoin, you do have the ability to transfer your Bitcoin off of your wallet onto your exchange, your preferred exchange, whether that's Coinbase or Binance. So it's all of that is possible with your account. So you can log in every day and watch yourself grow, depending on how active or passive you want to be. So it's really trying to be that simple, that straightforward, via referral links and just having an email address to get started. Okay. So we're just trying to say here that renting is much better. It's a much better, much more straightforward, and less overhead, less risk, much less expensive business model. So it's a rental contract. It is not for sale. It is not for retail sale. You cannot take one home with you. You are renting them via our data centers, wherever they will be, Thailand, Vietnam, elsewhere. So then now for the tech, we're just trying to make it quite simple here and let you guys know what's going on. So you can see that traditional computation would handle one binary state, which is limited storage. And then with the quantum bit technology on the left, you can see it can handle multiple binary states for. So you're going to get much more storage and computational efficiency. So yeah, quantum superposition, stored and processed simultaneously in different states. And then you can see here, optimized algorithms. So AI hash filtering. So AI tech enhances algorithms to predict and filter repetitive hash values for improved mining efficiency. So hopefully it's clear here that what would be computed over and over is now essentially deleted, or it is not repeated. So there is some subtraction and deletion, or essentially non-repetition of calculations being done over and over, which will speed up every block that is mined. And MinerX is focused on that. So the end result would be on-chain execution, mining machines, and a speed improvement ranging between 100% and 300%. So in conclusion from the tech, you can see at the top of your screen here, it's enhancing computational efficiency, and what most people really want to focus on is the actual output, which can be effectively increased by 10 to 30%. So with a combination of AI, big data, and quantum computing, and a bit of smart neural network learning, and the subtraction between historical hash value aggregation and invalidation of hash filtering, you get other algorithms which increase mining output. So these are the strategies being utilized by MinerX and all the software being run behind the scenes. And then it's a little bit repetitive, this slide, to reiterate the mining business model and the mining collaboration, because it'll be clear in the next few slides, but just wanted to make clear also that MinerX is compatible not just with ASICs, but it's compatible with GPUs, specifically Ethereum Classic, in addition to Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Monero Dash. Bitcoin Cash, of course, is Bitmain after the fork with ASICs, but there's many other top 20, top whatever tokens that are very can be boosted as well with MinerX. Okay. Now we are wrapping up here with the financials. So before we get into the contracts and the ways to monetize, just wanted to quickly show you on this slide what's going on in the bigger picture. So of course we have the legacy app project that's been building and building and building the ecosystem, and now MinerX since last month, and the MinerX as you see in the middle, which the tech we just talked about. So BitGood is located in Dallas, Texas. There are 4 different sites that the sales leaders will be going to in November, early November, for a site visit. And then you can see it's a 50-50 split on the far right of your screen and on the bottom of your screen. And then you can see on the bottom left of your screen, the 50% that's not going back to the miners in Dallas, Texas would be subdivided. 60% would be straight up Bitcoin to each MinerX device distributed as such. And then 30% is held back to incentivize community leaders and sales leaders and those large teams, and then 10% is a carve out for continued research and development and continued reinvestment in the project itself, and other contingencies if there need be. So now, as we wrap up here, we got 2 contracts. We got 1,000 USDT, which is a full single contract, and then we have 100 USDT, which is a shared contract, and that will be something that we're probably going to be pushing very hard in Vietnam and Philippines. The 100 USDT contract, just so people can get their foot in the door and start to smell the profits. So the exit mechanism is officially 2.9x. So 1,000 USDT would end up being 2,900 USDT, and that's when your contract is terminated and comes to term. And if you invested 100 USDT, your contract will come to term once you've earned 290 USDT. You see in the middle here the compatibility, all of the machines that are compatible, which is essentially almost all of the mining rigs that are still used today. You see the terahash per second, you see the acceleration efficiency, and then of course you see the daily profitability for one full MinerX, which ranges between 0.0007 and 0.0002. So George at the beginning of the call mentioned that's anywhere between $4 and $12 in that range. So if you choose right in the middle, that's about $8 at current prices, because it is calculated every 24 hours, depending on the USDT BTC price. So if it's 60K right now at midnight in Manila, or 11 p.m. here in Thailand, or 9 a.m. in California, or 12 noon in New York, depending on that time zone, then it would be exactly at that time that you see, if you had mined 0.0007 and it was only $4 right at the low end, at current market prices, you'd be allotted that 4.25 or 4.5 USDT going towards your contract. And then tomorrow, if you were to mine on the high end of the spectrum, for whatever reason, 0.0002, you would be allotted $12 or $13 for that second day of mining. So it's all about the price of Bitcoin as the variable, and the other variable, of course, is you can see on your MinerX device exactly how much you were able to mine in that 24-hour window. Okay, so hopefully with that out of the way, we're going to reiterate here that this pie chart represents the same thing we just talked about on the bottom left corner here. It's the exact same mathematics. So the 60% is pure Bitcoin, but then that additional 30-10 is held back for bonuses and management fee. So now with this case study, one contract over 4 months is going to yield you 0.018. And then if you assume a market price of 80K, right now it's 60K, your paper profits is 1440. And then, of course, 60% of that would be 864. So you've pretty much broken even your 1,000 USDT investment after 4.5 months. But if you look at the next example on the second row at 10 contracts, a lot of our Chinese investors are doing multiple contracts at once these last few weeks. We see that already. They will get many, many contracts. And let's assume that they go for 4 months. 10 contracts will yield you 0.18 Bitcoin over those 120 days. But if you assume a market price of 150K and you've held on your Bitcoin for those 4 months, then you will have a paper profit of 27,000. And then, of course, 60% of that would be 16K. So you've already broken even far before 4 months. You've already broken even perhaps 2 months in because Bitcoin price is so high. So that's how you measure your contract. So you can just see, even without having developed a downline or any referrals, if the Bitcoin price keeps going higher, you're naturally going to have your contract expire much faster as time goes on, because the market price is gonna go up. We assume from our the first few slides, you guys saw all of those market cycles. So that is part of the investment thesis, that Bitcoin will eventually go up very soon, as it has done many times before during a 4-year cycle. Now, in conclusion, Right Arms Project started in 2018, and Right Arms Project has had the same 3 bonuses. There's a referral bonus, there's a same rank bonus, and there's a matching bonus. So now, as we wrap up here, this is the final slide. Most of your questions are probably going to come from this slide. So let me just give me 1 more minute to hold your hand here as we wrap up the financials. So if you come in, you will be coming in as a member, as you see in the top left corner. If you refer your friend as well, you will receive 5% of that direct referral from your referral link. So if you refer 1,000 USD contract, 5% would be 50 USDT equivalent. And then you would also receive from that one referral from your friend, you would receive 5% of, it says matching bonus passive. It means Bitcoin daily mining. So you'd receive 5% of your buddy's daily Bitcoin mining. So for example, as George said, if you're mining anywhere between $4 and $12 per day, if we choose right in the middle, that's 8. So 5% of $8 is basically 30-40 cents. So from one referral, you're still earning 30-40 cents from one person every day. And that adds up quite fast. Now, if you wish to go up to level R1 and lock yourself into level R1, you need to get 3 direct referrals. You need to get a total of direct sales of 10,000, which directly stemming from your referral link specifically, and then group sales totaling 40K, regardless of how long that takes or across how many generations or layers, as long as there's an aggregate of 40K that can be traced back to your referral link from those signups. And then with the level 1, R1, you see here, you're still entitled to that referral bonus of 5%. You're entitled to the difference of 10% minus 5%. So you're entitled still to 5% of all passive daily Bitcoin mining coming from anybody below you, because you are now, as an R1, you have now earned that right for that 5%. And then you're entitled now from R1 up and on up to the third bonus, which is same rank bonus, which means new signups, new top-ups, other new incoming capital to the ecosystem. You're going to get 10% of anything that derives from your legs or your line. etc. So as you see, if you want to get from level R1 to R2 on the far right of your screen, same thing. You're gonna need 3 legs, as they say in the industry, and then those people will continue to grow up. So the only way you're really going to be able to go from a standard member up to level R1 is basically 40,000 in sales. And so from level 1 to level 2, you're going to need to get 40,000 in sales times 3, which is about 120 something in sales in aggregate, right? As your downlines develop, because you just sort of multiplied the first number by 3. Then as we note here, let me just clarify here. This is a contract, and so your contract is based on your earnings. So your goal would be to get from your $1,000 investment, your contract would end at $2,900. But as you see here, if you're signing up a lot of people for the referrals that are go back to you, and the matching bonus, which is a daily passive income, and then if you actually get up to level R1, all of this active bonuses from your downline, all of that is aggregated to your exit mechanism. So in the middle here, where it says 2.9x, it says dynamic and static combination. So everything is going towards your 3x, 2.9x. And then at the bottom of your screen, so look, let me make one more thing clear here. Your daily Bitcoin mining is 100% in Bitcoin, not USDT, not Cash Wallet. But on the final slide here, when it comes to your bonuses, as you see at the bottom of your screen, is 70% Bitcoin, 30% Cash Wallet. So when you log in, you have to top up 100 USDT or 1,000 USDT, and then you swap that for a 1-to-1 equivalent of Cash Wallet. So that 30% Cash Wallet that's held back is really ideally for most people to continue to top up or to gift or to use as a voucher. And you're free to gift it to other people and send within the ecosystem so they can sign up for a lot more discount, because you will still get those bonuses and income from them because they're using your referral link, et cetera, et cetera. So it will eventually come back to you if you want to gift that a Cash Wallet. So with that being said, I'm going to now stop the recording, and then I'm going to open it up to questions.